And actually, it's a special day for a lot of different things. So, number one, of course, this is Veterans Day. And so we have to acknowledge that this is a very special day for veterans and to acknowledge all the veterans. Number two, this is National Sunday Day. So you have to make yourself a sundae.
Oh, oh,
And also, today is 11/11, which is a special day for the Chinese, which is very interesting. This is a singles day. It's also known as the unofficial day to celebrate bachelors and bachelorettes. Anyway, so but let's go around and touch base with everybody. Oh, Jochen.
11/11 is also a very special day in Germany. 11/11 at 11/11 begins the carnival season.
oh, wow.
But this year it's canceled, but this is normally a very high carnival holiday.
Right. Oh, wow. Yep, today's a very special day.
That's
So
cool.
let's go around and what are you grateful for? So let's start off with you, Sue. What are you grateful for?
Well, because it's Veterans Day, what I'd like to do is give a shout to the following: my Uncle Harry, my Uncle Mike, my Uncle Norman. My Uncle Norman was in the Navy, and my Uncle Harry and Mike were in the Army. These were all young men who were first generation. Their parents were immigrants. My dad was precluded from joining the Army. He was in a special not volunteer, but in a special service. He had a master's in chemistry, and he, with a small team of people in Boca Raton, Florida, where my mother had a hard time finding an apartment as the newlywed because she was a Jewish girl and was told as much. My dad worked on a project to be able to develop film on the battlefield instead of taking the film back behind the lines and then making judgments. So it was more immediate. And to my brother, Steve, who is a Vietnam vet, and I want to acknowledge his service too. So
Oh, that's
that's what I wanted to say.
oh, thank you, thank you. And Miss Leticia, what are you grateful for? Thank you, Sue.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be back. I'm grateful, although I don't have anybody in my immediate family or close family who was at war or who went to war. Um, but nevertheless, many Canadians went to war. Many people from my province went to war. So I think we do have to acknowledge their sacrifice, and not only of going to war or having to go to war, but of them coming back and trying to lead a normal life with sometimes very difficult situations or very difficult traumas, etc. So I think we have a lot to learn and we have a lot to acknowledge and to be thankful for. So that's what I'm thankful for today.
Oh, thank you. And Miss Adria, what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for, I'm grateful for my grandfather, Raymond Oscar, who had 5 tanks shot out from under him that helped um, during World War II to go in after the concentration camps and get people out. I'm grateful for my uncle Richard, who fought in Vietnam, and I'm grateful for Stephen Wistner, who's on a ship right now. And Leticia kind of nailed it. It's the coming home part that's hard sometimes.
Right, absolutely. Thank you. And Miss D, what are you grateful for?
Well, like everybody else, I'm really grateful for everybody risk their lives for our democracy and our freedom. I'm more grateful today than I have ever been before.
Mm,
I'm just so grateful for our democracy. I'm just so grateful, grateful. Everybody who fought, everybody who fought then and everybody who fought now
right.
and is going to continue to fight.
It's still continuing. Absolutely.
And still continuing, yeah. I'm just so thankful for everybody who put their effort forward in any way whatsoever to save this country.
Mm.
We got through that.
Oh, that's
Yeah, next.
good to release. Thank you, Dee.
Oh, you're welcome.
And Mr. Johan, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for everybody, man or woman, who is fighting for a good thing and fighting for justice and diversity and freedom. That's what I appreciate most. And I thank all the American soldiers who fought here in Europe against Nazi Germany. I'm very sorry for that, but I'm grateful for the soldiers who fought for our democracy here now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Johan. And Miss Ann Beth, what are you grateful for?
Um, wow, I'm grateful for all the people I know that have fought for our freedom and have given their, their life to service for this country. Just about anybody in uniform, people who stand for freedom and to protect us as a country and individuals. My dad was in the Army during the Korean War and completely lost hearing in one ear, and the other ear wasn't so terrific. But yeah, they do their duty. They do what they believe is their duty to protect the country, and I thank them for that.
Mm.
And I had wanted to say when you asked the question, I don't know if you can see any of this. I am grateful for our friend Sherry, because Sherry is the friend who brought Johan and I together.
Oh, that's
She
sweet.
was, she lived in Bremen, which is in Germany, and that's how they knew each other. And she was a friend of mine here. She was an incredible dramatic soprano and an amazing human being, brilliant, and irreverent as they come, but funny, very funny. And so I thank Sherry.
Mm.
Voila.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And Miss Rita Maida, what are you grateful for today?
Hi, everyone. Um, Deep gratitude. I have a lot of students that are veterans, know a lot of vets, and I think it's also important that we thank them for their service, their sacrifice, but also to maybe collectively think about how do we address the issues once they come back home. So many of them struggle with homelessness,
Mm-hmm.
with hunger, and lack of support. So that's it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rita. And Miss Nancy, what are you grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful for my brother and my husband and the friends that were in my high school class that went to Vietnam to fight that ridiculous war. When they came back, they were booed at the airport. I was standing there, people were booing them. My husband came back to our son being 6 months old. He was born while he was over in Vietnam. He had never even seen him till he was 6 months old. So these guys fought because they were told to fight. Half of them didn't even know what they were fighting for.
Right.
I'm grateful for the older vets that fought for actual freedom of people, that fought for our country and borders, and the people in Europe that had a real reason for fighting. Too many of these wars now, the only reason is oil and money.
Hmm.
So I'm sorry about those vets that are pushed into those situations, but I'm grateful for the few that are left still living that remember what it's like to fight for America and freedom and borders and culture. Um, they're dying out quickly, and I'm in touch with a lot of them, and a lot of them have said that they don't have the energy or they won't be here long enough to continue that fight because they don't see that same connection to what America was.
Hmm.
It's a whole different thing. It's pretty sad. So I'm grateful for the people that had the courage to fight for our freedoms so that we can talk about it.
Right. Thank you. And Miss Rita Hubert, what are you grateful for?
Good morning. Well, I'm grateful for all of you, and I'm grateful to hear the stories and for all those who've fought for our democracy. It's just so great to be in a country with a democracy, and hopefully things will keep going in the right direction, and we'll have equality and fairness, and everything will work out well.
Yes. Thank you. And Miss Linda Boney, what are you grateful for?
Good morning, everyone. I'm grateful for being here. I'm also grateful for those who sacrificed and those who are still fighting for us, and also for same thing, the stories we heard today, and also for those who did it for us, went to war for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Miss Cousin Lana, what are you grateful for today?
Sorry I'm late, but I was thinking of my dad, and I was doing something in honor of him. And he was in the military, but only for 9 months. But I'm grateful that he was in the military, because if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have met my mom. I wouldn't be here today, because that's how they met. So that's what I'm grateful for today.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you, Lana. And Miss Heather, what are you grateful for today?
Ditto.
And I'm grateful. I'll do a shout out to my sister and her husband. They were both in the military, and I'm grateful for them being a part of the armed forces for many, 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 many years. And and so actually, I think, and my father actually was not included in the armed forces because he had a heart palpitation, so he never went. And so and I don't know why, but I just feel as though I think he felt saddened that he wasn't included as part of that because of his physical situation. But but uh, I'm just grateful for my sister and her husband Steve has gone through many, many traumatic experiences, and he's still going through all those traumas. And it's very wonderful to see how Karen is supporting him, to go through, what he's going through, and giving him that support. So, but it is, I'm just grateful for all of those people who have served our nations. And actually, I wanted to read to you a little bit about the history about Veterans Day. Apparently, Veterans Day really was not created until 1954 by President Eisenhower, because this day was actually originally called Armistice Day. And Armistice Day was the day when we closed, or actually World War One was quote unquote officially, the agreement was signed between Germany and the Allies at 11 a.m. at 11/11/1918. So that was called Armistice Day. So that was officially the close or the ending of World War One. But then World War II happened, the Korean War happened, and then that was when it was approached and it was decided to call it Veterans Day to include all the veterans who have given their lives, who have actually served, to protect our freedom and our people. So to me, it was kind of interesting to kind of go back in history. What is the origin of Veterans Day? And it really was really at the very, back in 1918, Armistice Day, and then became Veterans Day. But I think as as we're all feeling, it's much more than it's protection of our freedom and our rights, and it's much more of that on a deeper level. So and then on a lighter note, this is also known as and I have to read this, it's National Sundae Day. So the recipe for having a sundae today is 3/4 cup of sauce, 3 scoops of ice cream, something crunchy like nuts, whipped cream, and a garnish like a Majorino cherry or crumbled cookies. So and also it is kind of interesting, as Jochen was saying, it's a very special day, but in the Chinese, this is also known as Singles Day. So it's kind of interesting. Talk about being in the pandemic, Singles Day. But this is a Chinese unofficial holiday. And it's also shopping season that celebrates bachelors and bachelorettes. And this was chosen because the number one resembles a bare stick. So it's interesting and talk about the analogy of, the symbols of one and having 11/11. And in the Chinese internet, the slang for a single man who doesn't marry and thus cannot add branches to his family tree. So also, it's and also this happens to be, I can't believe it, but it is like the largest physical retail and online shopping day. So Alibaba, exceeds, all these billions and billions of dollars for this singles day. Anyway, but that's just kind of on a lighter note. So anyway, so obviously today is a very special day on a lot of different levels. But most importantly, we need to honor our veterans, because they have truly sacrificed themselves on a lot of different levels, and they are still living with us. And of course, we have to help support them in ways to move forward in the future and for all of ourselves. So, any other comments or observations that you'd like to share before we go into a meditation? But
I thought it was also interesting that Veterans Day was started on 11/11 of 1918, and that was also during a pandemic of the Spanish flu. So it was interesting that we're talking about it now. And
so, I mean, please, Sue.
Whoops. I left one person out, and that would be my very dear friend Ernst Mohammed, who was a Green Beret in the Vietnam conflict. And he was actually Aruban. He's from Aruba originally. He speaks like 6 different languages. His family is all over the world. But like so many other people who are not, during the time of their service, are not American citizens, but living here in some fashion, and also offer themselves wholly to this country in service. So I wanted to mention him too.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to say anything before we go into our meditation and just to honor, all these people who have served us? And we are all going to be continuing on our own service too. So
Not to be, not to drag us down again, but I think it's important to remember our veterans that were deported
mm,
in the last 4 years. So
yes,
let's try to
absolutely.
get those guys back with their families back here.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's go into meditation and let's just kind of honor everybody and thank them for their service. So let's just relax and just breathe. Put your feet flat on the floor. Sit comfortably in our chairs and just breathe and relax and clear our minds. And let's begin. Let's begin our time with the ringing of the bells. Hmm. And just sit comfortably in our chairs, whatever is most comfortable. Actually, my hands are outstretched like the wings of the eagle, gathering chi for our group, gathering chi for our world, and for all the veterans. Breathe and relax. And let's imagine that we're standing along the lake or along the shores of different countries. Feel the gentle breezes. See the mountains in the distance giving us support. The forests of trees standing upright and tall. Bamboo forests, green and vibrant. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's imagine this beautiful golden cord of energy coming from the universe, going along the central channel of our bodies, going to the base of our chair, through our legs, like the roots of the bamboo, going down deep, deep, deep down, connecting to earth, heaven, humanity, and earth. Breathe and relax. And just relax our heads, relax our necks, our shoulders, relax our arms, our wings, our hands. Just relax. Breathe and relax. Bring our attention to our hearts filled with gratitude, filled with purple light energy, purple hearts. Bring our attention to the lower dantian, our golden stove, and just relax. Relax our hips, our knees, our thighs, our legs. There's no place for us to go at this time. Relax our ankles and our feet. Relax and breathe. And let's visualize ourselves to be outside in nature, whether along the shores of a beach or in the Amazon forest or the Grand Canyon, overlooking the infinite distance, the horizons. Breathe and relax. And let's just take the time to listen. Let's listen to the universe. Maybe listen to God. Listen to our hearts. And just breathe and relax. And as you open your body to the universe, we're opening our hearts to love, giving love, receiving love, expanding our chi from the lantern of the lighthouse, sharing hope and harmony and gratitude. And our lighthouse firmly anchored to Mother Earth amid the swirling waters of emotions and feelings, breathing in and breathing out. And gently bring our attention to our hearts, filled with purple chi energy, purple hearts, honoring all those who have helped us, protected us. and just visualize all the flags of the world, honoring those. Slightly raise your chin, relax your neck and your shoulders, breathing in naturally and evenly. And our arms or hands are like the wings of your body, long and endless, giving us limitless chi. And the universe is offering us unconditional love. As we are able to hold this position for a long period of time, you may notice that our breathing may have stopped. It's only because our spirit has merged into our mind. Our mind is completely resting in our hearts. And just relax. Relax and enjoy this space of weightlessness and just allow the love to permeate through all the cells of our body, filled with gratitude, filled with good health, unraveling the knots of the heart, breathing in and breathing out. Sitting here is just so natural. We have all returned to the original state of love, and love contains all. There is no yesterday, and there is no tomorrow. There is only the fullness of being in the present moment, being in the eternal now. And just continue breathing gently in and out and enjoy the silence. And if you want to join with me, just kind of outstretch your arms gently, easily, in a very relaxed position. And open up your palms. And the center of our palms, the Lao Gung, welcoming the chi from the universe, welcoming the chi of love and hope and peace and good health. And just allow this chi to circulate through our wings, connecting to our hearts, our body, and our mind. Breathing in and breathing out. And just visualize ourselves on the shores of the beach or the lake or a gentle stream. The beautiful trees surrounding us, uprising wood chi energy, flexible, renewed vitality. And let's gently, gently take our hands, put it onto our hearts, or onto your heart in the lower dantian, whatever is most comfortable. And let's close our time with the ringing of the bells. Gate gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi soha. Gate gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi soha. Gate gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhi soha. Going, going over to the other side to be with the land of the bodhisattvas. And gently, gently take our palms, just kind of rub them together. And gently, gently do a little tap. Tap, tap, tap your jaws. Tap, tap, tap your head. Rub your ears. Do a little tap dance with Mother Earth. Tap, tap, tap your arms and your shoulders. Gently tap our hearts. And happy Veterans Day. Sending lots of love to everyone. It's November 11th, 2020. So have a beautiful day.